Do you know Manchester United reported losses exceeding £115 million? Chelsea has debt that climbed past £700 million. Yet both remain untouchable. Meanwhile, smaller clubs face elimination for far lesser violations. What is protecting football's elite? That is exactly what we are going to answer today. Today we are examining why major clubs operate under different rules. This is not conspiracy. It is about economic power and institutional protection. Financial regulations, league dependencies, and commercial interests create a system where some clubs are deemed too big to fail. Have you ever wondered why the same violations result in completely different punishments depending on which club commits them? The money involved in modern football is staggering. Premier League broadcast deals are valued at £5.64 billion for the 2022 to 2025 cycle alone. The top 6 clubs in the Premier League generate between 65 and 70% of the entire league's revenue. Manchester United alone generates over £630 million annually from all sources. That is more revenue than many countries produce. This dependency becomes crystal clear when we look at what happens when things go wrong. Back in 2020, Barcelona filed for bankruptcy. The Spanish club could not register players or continue operating normally. This created immediate panic across La Liga. Sponsors questioned the league's stability. Broadcasters worried about product quality. Revenue streams dried up. When a flagship club stumbles, the entire commercial structure feels the impact. Revenue-sharing models mean that when one club collapses, money disappears for everyone else in the league. So if losing one major club causes this much damage, what do you think that incentivizes league officials to do? Financial fair play regulations exist to create fair competition. In theory, every club follows the same rules. In practice, the enforcement is selective and depends heavily on club size and commercial importance. The rules are the same, but they are applied differently. Manchester City provides the most telling example. Between 2029 and 2018, the club faced allegations of spending breaches. Instead of massive punishments, Manchester City received a reduced Champions League ban that was later overturned on appeal. Contrast this with smaller clubs that face similar financial violations. They receive immediate, irreversible sanctions. One club gets a second chance, another gets eliminated. Both broke the same rules. Paris Saint-Germain accumulated €300 million in debt while maintaining full access to European competitions. The regulatory system did not punish them with competition bans. For elite clubs, fines replace sporting penalties. These fines mean nothing to teams backed by state wealth or billionaire owners. A fine is simply a business expense. For smaller clubs without such financial backing, the same fine can mean survival or death. The bigger the club, the softer the approach. When things go wrong, big clubs have options that smaller clubs simply do not have. Elite teams can tap into wealth from state-backed investors and billionaire owners. Global sponsors are willing to refinance losses for internationally recognized brands. Manchester United, Liverpool, and Barcelona can secure multi-year sponsorship deals worth hundreds of millions of pounds. When financial crises hit, these sponsors often restructure agreements rather than withdraw. They maintain the relationship because the brand matters too much to lose. Smaller clubs lack these investor networks and sponsor flexibility. When a mid-tier club needs capital, sponsors have already committed their budgets elsewhere. Asset leverage is available only to internationally recognized brands. Banks offer better credit terms to clubs with established revenue streams and global appeal. A smaller club applying for the same loan faces higher interest rates, stricter conditions, and smaller amounts. Big clubs and mid-tier competitors operate within entirely different financial systems within the same leagues. Disciplinary actions deliberately avoid relegation threats for major clubs. Think about what would happen if Manchester United faced relegation. The Premier League would lose billions in broadcast value. Sponsors would panic. Casual fans would stop watching. Authorities prioritize competition participation over sporting consequences. Points deductions happen for smaller clubs. Fines happen for larger ones. Transfer restrictions rarely apply to commercially important teams. This is the containment strategy in action. The system protects itself by protecting the big clubs within it. Media pressure also influences decision-making on enforcement severity. When officials investigate elite clubs, they know the entire world is watching. Harsh penalties trigger months of debate, fan protests, and sponsor questions. This pressure creates incentives to find softer solutions. Juventus faced serious punishment for financial rule-breaking in Italy. Yet the punishment included points deductions spread across seasons rather than immediate relegation. Smaller Italian clubs that committed comparable violations faced harsher consequences. This pattern holds across every major league. Beyond rules and enforcement, the system itself is built to favor elite clubs from the ground up. Scheduling at the domestic level often protects European competition runs for top clubs. When a major team fights in the Champions League, they might receive favorable fixture spacing. Rest days are granted strategically. Seeding in tournaments benefits historically dominant teams automatically. Competition formats structurally favor consistent top performers. Revenue distribution models reward established commercial success rather than competitive balance. Clubs that earned money years ago still earn more today through historical revenue-sharing arrangements. Political influence on league committees is concentrated among elite clubs. Decision-making structures are aligned with commercial power holders. When league executives vote on policy changes, which clubs do they listen to? The ones that generate the most revenue, the ones with the most powerful owners, the ones with global influence. Smaller clubs have voices in these discussions, but their votes carry less weight in practice. The structural advantages accumulate over time, making it progressively harder for any club to challenge the established order. Football markets itself as pure merit-based competition, yet survival is determined by economic importance, not performance alone. This system prioritizes league stability over sporting fairness. The beautiful game operates on two different sets of regulations. One set applies to clubs that matter commercially. Another applies to everyone else. Economic power determines outcomes as much as player talent or coaching quality. So what do you think about all of this? Does it feel fair to you? Please share your opinions in the comments section below. What would you change about how football operates? Your perspective matters. If this video has made you think differently about professional football, share it with other fans who might find it interesting. Subscribe to Enigma Path for more deep dives into football's hidden mechanics.